Hi, this is Kimbra. I'm currently in New York City, where I'm living at the moment. But as some of you might know, I've just returned from an amazing trip in Ethiopia and Kenya. This was my second time traveling to Ethiopia and my first time to Kenya. As expected, it was a life-changing experience, and I wanted to share a few things about it with you the same way I did last time. So I went with Tirza, the same organization that I went on the last trip with. They're an organization that work with women across the world who are in need of empowerment, and they partner with people in these different communities throughout Africa and the Middle East that are doing work to help women out of poverty and help them get back their rights. They partner alongside outreach programs and help financially, as well as encouraging them by taking teams over from all around the world that can help also document the stories of what life is like for some of these women. So I was very moved by my trip last time, and I couldn't stop thinking about it really, so I thought I'd go back. This time was really special because I got to meet with some of the women that I had met last year, and this time they were about a year or even 2 years into their business. So the BESA outreach program, for those of you who don't know, works with women to give them skills. So they already have skills, of course, but they're helping them refine those skills and develop them into something that can be a sustainable business. They're also helping them learn about saving money and economic skills, and keeping in touch with them over a period of time once the business has started. So it was really incredible to now go back and see those same women and witness just how much they've grown. For example, there was one woman in particular who had a chicken business last year. So she was on a property that had about 6 or 7 chickens, and she was selling the eggs and looking after these chickens. But life was tough for this woman. She was HIV positive, like they all are in this community and at this program. And she lost her son to leukemia, although it could have been a result of her son also being HIV positive. Many of the women don't get the children tested for fear that they'll live with the stigma of being positive. So she was downcast, and although trying to stay positive with her business, life was hard. And I remembered leaving, with a kind of prayer in my heart for her. This year, I went back and I got to see her. Again, and she'd really grown more than I could possibly have imagined. It was incredible. The story is the chickens actually died of disease, so she encountered a lot of problems in the early days of her business. But she didn't give up, and she started to sell household goods, so candles and things like this. And with the money that she made from this business, she ended up being able to purchase some property to start a restaurant. So she had remarried after losing her husband, and started this community where people came to buy the food that she ate. She made them coffee, she sold them soft drinks and beer, and was able to actually make a sustainable living for herself and for her children who were going to school. And just her eyes, the way she lit up when she saw us for the second time, of course, and we've sort of become friends on the last trip, so this was particularly special for me. And just how life had become so much more full of hope and vision for her. So not only did she have this restaurant, but she now had some land that she'd been able to buy, and was renting out the various rooms of this house, or this kind of, I'll be honest, mud slum community of houses. But nevertheless, it was a huge step forward to be owning property and to be able to rent it out, as well as having a better living environment for herself than where she was last year. So I was really encouraged to see just how much change is happening in the communities that Tirza is supporting, and to have gone back now and seen it for myself. And amongst all the pain and hardship, I said the same thing last year, I do experience so much joy and I guess possibility for change. And this year I walked away with a different feeling. It was more a sense of, what can I do? This is my second time there now, and I've got to make friends with some of these women, and also with their children. At the centre, they look after a lot of these women's children, and they help them with extra tutoring, with some extra food, and also with resources like school bags and uniforms and stationery. So it's been really special to go back and see some of those children again and learn a bit more about their lives. And what really struck me was that these women, although they have so much of their own pain that they're struggling with, the only thing they ever wish is to have hope and education for their children. In fact, every woman that I would talk to, you know, what makes you happy? What is your vision for the future, hope for the future? It was always coming back to giving these children a chance at school. And the more I've kind of looked into the schooling system in Ethiopia, it's pretty clear that for girls it's a lot harder to even get to school in the first place. Most classrooms, from what I understand, are about 3% ratio of girls. You know, parents may choose to send the boys to school while the girls will stay at home and do a lot of labour and help around the house, and often get married as young as about 15. So your role in life is very quickly set up for you unless you have those chances to get educated and have a shot of a different life. So I went away thinking, okay, if their priority is the children, what could I maybe do to help with my hands or with the resources that I have or with my voice? And I asked the leader of the centre, who's the main guy that kind of runs the program for the children, and I said, look, what do they need? You know, what is the real need here? And he told me that the first day of the children's school year is September 11th, which is a strange date for those of us who live in America, but this is the first day of the new year in Ethiopia. And the children that are going to school that year are in dire need of textbooks and school bags and uniforms and the things they need to study at school. The costs of these things are a lot, and they made it clear to me that this was the area that they needed the most help in, and if I was interested in helping in any way, this would be the best place to put it for the children, which really does excite me, you know, this thought of being able to give back to them. So, as some of you know, I live in New York now, and while I was packing up my things in LA, I was packing up the studio and putting things in boxes, and I looked to the side and I saw all these boxes of merchandise that had been left over from previous tours. And, you know, it's quite common that you can bring too much on tour and you're not able to sell it all. And, you know, as a result, I've been meaning to send it to the online store and have it up there selling for you guys to buy over time. But it kind of occurred to me that it's something that I have that I could essentially give back to these kids. And I thought, well, what if I was able to donate 100% of the profits from this merchandise to the centre? And what if I really focused this over the next 2 months so that by September 11 they would have these resources, or at least I could pitch in with the help of my community, fans that listen to the music, to kind of make a dent in that for them. So I guess this video is slightly different because it's partly an invitation. And I received so many amazing messages from people after I made these videos last year. One of which actually ended up, one of the girls ended up coming on this trip, believe it or not. So it's been really amazing to watch, I guess, just the chain reaction of how these things work. And I have been touched by the hearts of the people that reach out to me and listen to the music. And many of them saying, like, what could I do if I wanted to help? So I've decided to, over the next 2 months, donate this merchandise. And when you buy a t-shirt or a tote bag or anything that you see on the online store, I want to pass it on to this centre for the kids. So I guess this is a way that you can help me, and this is a way that we can kind of bind together to do something really special for these kids. And I can, you know, confirm that the small amounts that you give and think, gosh, what could this ever be worth? It's worth far more than you'll ever know. You know, it's like I've seen it for myself now, being over there. The amount of money it takes to turn things around in these communities is crazy. And for me, this is a kind of symbolic way of saying goodbye to the old merchandise and the old music, and I'm now moving into a new season, as many of you know, working on a new record, and I can't think of a better way to yeah, to kind of celebrate that time, but in the spirit of the Golden Echo, but to give it back. And I would be so grateful to any of you who feel inclined over this time to go onto the merch store and buy something. There's so many amazing designs and like rad t-shirts and tote bags up there, and if you see something that catches your eye, you'll know that it's going somewhere really important. So thank you for listening to this video diary. I will be posting lots more about the trip, photos and videos, and some photos of the beautiful children that I'm hoping to help with this project. Thank you so much if you do choose to buy a shirt and buy some merchandise, and I'll be keeping you updated with how that's all going on. So thank you, and talk soon.